So I thought I'd make a quick little video just to show you how I'm getting some of my images that I'm using to paint with. That I've just put in this photograph here, which I took of Newquay Harbour in Wales many years ago, and I have painted this before as well, and a recent oil painting that I did here in France. And I've got the prompt, a beautiful summer evening at the Newquay Harbour in Wales, UK, full of light and shadows. Let's see what it does. So an image is appearing. We're about 90% way there. And what have we got? Yeah, we could use those for a demonstration. And then what I tend to do, hit the wrong button. What I tend to do then is to click on the image and then rerun 4 times, 5 times, whatever. And if you've got an image that is quite nice, like it's quite nice, obviously it's not Newquay and it's just a made up scene, but inspired by. So I've got a boat sinking there. We can hit strong and it'll give a strong variation of that image there. While that's waiting to be done, let me just show you some of these other images that I've come up with. So this was a scene I took in the garden the other day, and I combined it with this oil painting again, and these are the reference materials I've got here. So these are all sort of demonstrations I can do to try and explain painting methods. You know, it's not necessary to make a piece of artwork, although they'll probably be quite nice. Looks like there's an old whale there. That's quite nice. And again, I've rerun the image a few times. So this was another picture of my garden, looking a bit of a mess, but combined it with, again, the watercolor this time. And these are the image we got here. So quite nice light. I like the blue shadows there. So again, combining different areas of my garden, which, you know, the photographs aren't particularly, you know, great, but they can be turned into perhaps, you know, a painting, certainly inspiration for demonstrations. And you can just keep playing with them until you get something that you actually want to paint. And what else did we do? So yeah, the washing line, I took a photograph of that. You know, that's quite nice. That would work in watercolors or oils. And I've subscribed to MidJourney for the month, so I shall fill my boots with my reference pictures and my paintings, combine the two and see what images I can come up with. And then I'll have lots and lots of references to do demonstrations. That's Abu Dhabi in Wales, combined with my watercolors. Quite nice. The Perigoo. That would probably need a bit of work. We could do that. I painted this lighthouse the other day as a beginner demonstration in watercolor. Scenes here, lovely summer evenings in France. And the light is perfect on these pictures here. You abstract, cloudy scenes maybe. And I painted this one the other day as a demonstration. Use that image there. So yeah, the possibilities are endless. Arc de Triomphe, very painterly. So obviously these are just computer generated images, you know, they're not paintings, but you know, it's for me as an artist to put my own stamp on it. But really for me, I'm not thinking about these of making, you know, artworks. There's more to do demonstrations, to put content on my channel, my memberships, to help other artists to build confidence in learning painting techniques, to then, you know, use those skills to go off on plein air painting and do their own paintings. And for me as well, when I go outdoors and paint, that's when I'm producing art. I wouldn't necessarily say this is, you know, art. This is training. I see this as training, working on my craft, learning how watercolor flows on the paper. That's lovely. That is lovely light. So there we go. Let's have a quick look at what changes. So more painterly the better, I say. So I'll rerun that one again, but with my watercolor reference. So what I do is I put the prompt in there, click the little photo icon. This is on MidJourney. Drag my photo into image prompts. Drag the style reference, which is, I put one of my watercolors in here. and then hit go. And I found this is a much better way to produce images rather than just putting a prompt in and hope for the best. That if you actually put in a photograph, a style, and if you're using your own paintings as the style, you know, I think that's better as well, because you're going to get something closer to the sort of style of painting that you want to do. You know, these are pretty good for watercolors. And let's have a rerun of that one a few times. Now, again, lovely light. Before I was using my images, these were the sort of images I was getting come up, which, you know, not quite the same. They're okay, but from point of view of doing a demonstration and making it easier for beginner artists to be able to follow, you know, this is a little bit overwhelming, the detail on these. You know, and obviously you get weird stuff as well. This was done last year. MidJourney has come on a long way since all of this. You know, I think I could use that. Okay, but zooming forward to today, and the opportunity now to use photographs alongside references for styles, you know, that's definitely, you know, a demo that could be done. And you know, I could simplify it to make it a beginner one, an intermediate one. There's a beginner one there. Another beginner one. Definitely a beginner one. So, and you can learn a little bit from these as well, that, you know, there's a lot of white watercolor paper coming through there. Potentially, that's how I see it, and see what sparkle that gives the painting. So, and you know, I wouldn't paint all those buildings up there like that with those sort of hard edges. I'd have a bit looser, softer effects, and certainly a lot less detail than what's there. So that was just a bit of an insight to what I'm using MidJourney for, and I'll be painting all of those probably over the next 12 months or so on my watercolor and oil painting channel. So if you want to see some of those, the link's in the description to those channels. And I've also got a membership website which will give you access to all the videos, and join me on a live stream as well, perhaps. So there you go. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you're new to this channel.